And this Rattler needed that. It needed the Yahoo Serious treatment.
Is the premise of that movie what if Einstein lived in Australia?
The premise of all three Yahoo Serious movies, because he only ever made three,
Okay.
was what if X famous person lived in X time period?
Oh.
His second movie is a mixture of Ned Kelly and Robin Hood, but it takes place in the 90s and he owns a video store.
Okay.
And the third one was just weird.
All right.
So yeah, I went down a Yahoo Serious rabbit hole the other day because I remembered him in like a fever dream.
Oh my god, I will rewatch that movie at some point because it's such a strange. We don't. Let's not. It's such a strange little piece of history, movie history. So
Yes,
weird.
it was so weird. I have a Plex server now, and want to make a category that's just called like childhood fever dreams, things that like exist on the very frayed fringes of my mind, like to the point where you have to question if this thing really existed. And I keep finding them and downloading them, and I just want to make them their own category.
All right. For me, that'd be like Drop Dead Fred.
Drop Dead Fred.
It's a very weird movie.
I've been searching for this one Sword and Sandal movie that I saw with my dad when I was like 7, and I've been searching for it for since college. And I finally found it the other day, and I don't know if it's good or not, but damned if I didn't find it.
What was it?
Oh, now I gotta look it up.
I mean, you can't leave me hanging.
Quest for the Mighty Sword. I
Quest for the Mighty Sword.
I don't know if it's good. I don't know if it's problematic. I don't know if it's anything, but it has lived rent free in my mind for a long, long time, and I have it. And
Okay.
I've just kind of been doing that, finding more and more and more things like that. Unfortunately, when I do remember them, I can't like find them anywhere because they're really old and fringe and no one's carrying them.
Hmm.
Oh man, I just totally blanked. There is a horror movie that I really like. Oh, it's The Blob. I just got the 1988 Blob
Sure.
with
Remake.
yeah, the remake, which I love. But one
Well,
of the
also
reasons,
famously has a child death in it.
yes, that's the thing. That's one of the reasons I think it's such a good classic film because that's like the trope that it broke the mold on, where kids actually die, which never happened in mainstream movies.
Very rare.
Yeah, so I enjoy it for that because there's always that, it's like, well, the kid's gonna get away. Holy crap, the kid didn't get away. Um,
Yeah, it really throws you for a loop, the remake of the Blob.
yeah.
The original Blob, highly recommend. Remake of the Blob, good. Not as good as like the remake of the Thing from about that same time, but that's a great. The 1980s Blob is a great
And it's
creature
got
feature.
Kevin Dillon.
Oh my god, it does.
Did you ever see Airborne?
Yes.
I loved Airborne growing up, and that is like peak I'm from California
Yeah.
energy with
Devil's
Seth
Backbone.
Green and Jack Black and the Devil's Backbone.
And who was the lead in that movie? The lead in that movie did not go on to do anything in
He
particular.
did not. Shane McDermott.
It does sound familiar.
I feel like we are wrong. I feel like Shane McDermott.
Hold on. You know, we are gonna get a bonus episode out of this one.
Yeah, yeah, I'm just giving myself more editing. You know what? No. No, literally, he has 6 credits. Airborne is his only movie. He was in a few episodes of random TV shows. I could probably count all of them on my fingers and toes. Did he die?
No,
R.I.P. Shane
maybe.
McDermott? No, he's
Oh, he's alive.
alive.
He's not dead.
I don't know, man. But yeah, that right there, peak California kid. And they really like to rub in that he's from California, and he likes to rub in that he's from California.
Are we talking about Airborne still, or are we back onto Hocus
We're back
Pocus?
onto Hocus Pocus. I'm trying
I
to.
couldn't tell.
I mean, both movies. So far, both movies are the same.
Pretty much the exact same plot, except for the witches and the child murder.
Yeah. So,
There are a lot of similarities between Hocus Pocus and Airborne, because even the like bully type kids.
yes,
Okay, we can't. Yeah, we can't talk. I can't keep talking about
we can't
Airborne.
go down this rabbit hole. Although, speaking of the bully kids, Ernie, aka Ice, and Jay, Ernie is Larry from Buffy.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah.
Well, I mean that was still a long time ago. Oh, but he was in Walk the Line. I'm
Was
looking him
he?
up now. He was in Walk the Line.
He's had a pretty good career. I looked through it, but it was just weird to see Larry from Buffy. My wife is a huge Buffy person, so like immediately he walked on screen and she was like, "It's Larry from Buffy," and I was like, "Okay."
Oh, he does a lot of TV. You know, it's funny. It was like my wife was like, "Oh, he's still doing stuff," and he is. But yeah. Oh, he was on The Young and the Restless for a long time.
Hey,
For
it's
Ice.
steady money. If any town in the United States was going to do a giant Halloween bash, it would be
Oh, it would
Salem,
be Salem, Massachusetts.
Massachusetts.
It's true. The entire. I mean, like you can't even. Don't even attempt to go there around Halloween
Yes,
because it is based.
I've never been to
Yeah.
Salem, but I know it's hopping on Halloween.
I asked my wife this past weekend. We're recording this just after Labor Day weekend. I was like, "Oh, hey, we got nothing going on today. Do you want to go up to Salem?" She was like, "No, it's already gonna suck." And that's true. Like Salem is already crowded. Yeah, the night of Halloween in Salem, Massachusetts, it will just be a gigantic dance party, but not a wholesome one.
Not a
Not a
wholesome one.
wholesome one.
Well,
It
it's
will
not
be
1993.
disgusting.
It's been 20 years. It's been 30
It's
years.
true. If anybody gets the opportunity to go to Salem around Halloween, do it. It's outrageous.
I have never ever been to Salem, but your wife actually, I saw on Facebook, was interested in like a ton of like spooky flea markets in the month of
Mhm.
October in Salem. So I was thinking of maybe going and checking one of them out and checking out Salem in October.
I gotta get there real early, or else there's not gonna be any parking. But you
Well,
know what? Those spooky markets, like even if you don't make to them in October, they'll have them again for Christmas. They're still going to November, December. They're great. I like them in November, December because they're not nearly so crowded.
okay, good to know.
Yeah, yeah, you don't miss out if you don't get there for that.
I just feel like at some point in my life I should hit Salem around Halloween.
I mean, no time like the present.
Yeah,
Definitely, the thing I would say is either get there really early so you can get a parking space, or park somewhere along the commuter rail and take the commuter rail in.
it's weird because like
Because they have a train stop right by downtown.
I'm not typically a touristy person, like especially in areas that I live near. Like I grew up outside of New York City. I've never been to the Empire State Building. I have never been to the Statue of Liberty.
Not since I was real little.
I
I haven't been
lived
to those places.
in New York City for a while. Never been to any of these touristy places, but things like Salem, I'm like, yeah, I'll go there during peak tourist trap season, sure.
I mean, it's special.
It
The
is.
museums there. I mean, like the actual witch museums in Salem. Now, this is just becoming a commercial for Salem, Massachusetts. The actual witch museums in Salem, Massachusetts, and there's a few of them, are the tourist trappiest things you've ever seen, and they are wonderful. I love them. You'll see plenty of Hocus Pocus stuff too. You see, yeah, I mean, it's a whole thing. You gotta check it out. Great food. I'd say that about Salem too. Great food.
Okay.
The Peabody Essex Museum is right there, and it's a wonderful museum. It's a beautiful art museum. They had an exhibit there a couple of years ago I went to that was the history of like ocean liners. Just some really cool stuff.
Okay.
The big thing was they had a deck chair from the Titanic. And they had a guy there being like, go check out that deck chair. It's from the Titanic. And we are like, oh shit. It's a really good. Anyway, I love Salem. Definitely go.
Cool. We'll see. We'll see how October works out. It's booking up pretty quick already.
Yeah.
It was also really funny to see all the topical 1993 costumes. Like there's a kid that runs by in the background dressed as Sonic the Hedgehog.
Still, no, that's still relevant.
Still relevant, but like
Sonic
it's
more relevant now than he has ever been before.
really.
It was the last Sonic movie made a lot of money.
Oh
They are
yeah,
going
I
to
guess
have a spin-off. They're working on part 3, a Knuckles spin-off, and I think a TV show. We're going to be getting a lot of Sonic the Hedgehog in the next couple of years.
well, I'm glad the movies are good because the shows went downhill a long. Not the shows, the games went downhill a long time ago.
Yeah, I don't play the. Well, Sonic Mania was good. We don't not here to talk about Sonic the Hedgehog. We're talking here to talk about Bette Midler.
I just can't dangle anything in front of you.
If I start talking about Sonic the Hedgehog, I will talk about Sonic the Hedgehog for a while.
That's a whole different podcast.
A whole other podcast. I could talk about because I have a lot of thoughts on Idris Elba as Knuckles. I can't start on it now.
I did not even know Idris Elba was Knuckles, but that's weirdly perfect casting.
Okay, so oh Jesus, here
We
go.
don't have to do this.
But that's my point. It's like such good casting, but it's like, why are you in this movie, Idris Elba?
A lot of
Like,
his choices are perfect casting, but I'm like, why are you here? I
it's like
feel
you
like
don't
you're
need
better
to.
than a lot of these roles.
The thing is, I'm like, you know what? It was probably like an afternoon for him. Like, it just was not a big lift for Idris Elba to be in this movie because it's just, it's not like they were doing mocap with him. He was just doing the voice.
Does he have
Like, that's
kids? He's got to have kids.
yeah, he's got kids.
He
He's got
probably
kids,
just did it because he's got kids.
right? And they're like, yeah. Oh my God. So we watched Sonic the Hedgehog 2 a lot at my house right when it came out because my daughter watched it. She loved it, and we had to watch Sonic the Hedgehog 2 probably like every day for like a week over the summer. She loved it. And she was like, "Can I see a picture of the person who plays Knuckles in this movie?" And we're like, "Yeah." We pull it up on IMDb. Like, this is him. She goes, "Oh, he's so handsome." I'm like, "You are 5 years old. Knock it off." And I was like,
It's
"But yes, he
not
is. He's very
untrue.
good looking. Oh, he's so
He
good looking.
he is one of the most handsome actors in Hollywood.
Easily,
Yeah.
easily
I think he's won like sexiest man before.
deserved it."
Yeah. No, I'm just saying like your daughter's not wrong. I'm pretty sure he's won the award.
No, he deserved it. He's a very, very handsome person. They made a joke about it on The Office. We're
All
not
right.
here to talk about Idris Elba's
We're
beautiful,
back.
beautiful face.